what do we leave behind? As I drive away from my town and as I go into the mountains, it's time to reflect over the things we leave behind. And these things can be anything, really. It could be stuff, things, thoughts, feelings, emotions, specific times in our lives. By leaving things behind, we tend to allow more room for things to come into our lives. When we carry too much burdens, let's say, for example, if you're carrying some pain from something you went through in your past, no matter how long ago it was, and you hold that pain close, you don't realize how detrimental that is to you and how it holds you down, weighs you back. Things you leave behind. Moving forward, not moving backwards. Staying still, not moving forwards. All these things can and will hold you back. So as I leave my city and as I get closer and closer to the mountains, I sit and reflect over the things I leave at home. You know, work, family, friends, comfort, the knowable, and I go towards the things that I am not comfortable with. I'm not fully, I would say, I'm not a master at wilderness, camping, stuff like that. But sometimes we need to disconnect from the comfort, disconnect from the good feelings, and put ourselves into a different mindset, a different perspective, as you will. And the only way to do that is to make yourself uncomfortable. For me personally, this trip is my first time in the mountains alone, camping alone for a few days. I've never done this before. I have never camped alone before. So these are the things that make me uncomfortable. But I'm excited. I am looking forward to the adventures ahead. No matter how simple and plain they may be to some of you. But to me, it's what made me wake up today and say, it's time for me to get out there and do this. All right, let's get this show on the road. I just gassed up and now I'm starting my journey on the Forestry Trunk Road, just off of Coleman, Alberta. So let's see where this takes us. Goodbye road. This is no time. I may be at campsite 1, I'm not sure yet. Bit rocky, but good work for tonight. Get the water stream going. Kind of feel like pulling in here a little bit, to be honest. You can see the tucked away in here a little bit, to be honest. It's nice. Yeah, I was thinking of doing a river crossing at here. I think the road continues down more, but I don't want to risk it, and Luna is not raised, it's still stock, so I still need some time to do that. So we'll see in time. Maybe next time I'll mark this on the spot for a potential place to stay, but let's see. You know, it's nice to be able to finally sit down and relax, even though I don't think I can do much of that. Looming rainstorm coming. Seems to be very on and off, typical Albertan weather. It's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. But the bugs come and go. They're a bit annoying. I was debating on leaving, finding a different site, but I think I'll just hunker down today and just enjoy the time I have here by the stream. It's very nice. I have a few neighbors, but that's fine. Beats a campsite. I was trying to consider going to do a river crossing to go to the other side over there. There seems to be more places to go explore, but unfortunately the 4Runner is stock, and I'm not really willing to risk it right now, even though I'm here to make risks and do things that are not usually your average, but that's fine. Sit and relax. I have about 8 hours before bedtime, so what to do? We keep ourselves so busy, we miss the important parts of our lives. It's just being able to just sit and be aware. It's such an interesting experience being out here. I can't say it's the same as Ontario by any means. Night and day. Being able to have these experiences, these opportunities to come out and spend time with nature. As long as it goes pretty well tonight, I don't mind, and I guess I figure out what's next, what we do next, and we'll go from there. Fortunately or unfortunately, there's a lot of cow excrement around me, so I have to do this very carefully, so and not get too wet, even though there seems to be always a looming storm up ahead. So let's give it a shot. Why not? Before it rains again. Nice piece of life. What do you know? Found one. Well, that wasn't really successful. I found one, but it's not happening. I lost it. So yay for finding my first one, but sad that I wasn't able to take anything home. But I'll continue, see what happens, but I'll dig around some more, figure it out. My heart almost dropped. I saw this big black thing in the tree line over there, but I'll show you. Moo. Just cows. Just cows. Not surprised all the cow droppings I've seen here, but it looks like the weather's getting a bit better, eh? Look at that. You know, and when you're out in the wild, you get this extra sense of danger, I suppose, with the bears and such. And then, you know, I'm always looking over my shoulder, keeping a situational awareness, and trying to make sure if there's anything around me at all times, because you never know. Speaking of which, to get my bear spray while I'm doing this, I don't want to get caught off guard. Thankfully, my campsite's right here. So, you know, I was debating if I should actually find a different campground, but you know what, for today, I think with the driving, this is fine. This will be fine for now. I'm not gonna stress over it too much. It is nice to be able to be out here alone in all manners of that. Few sets of advice I got was to don't unpack just before nightfall, or you know, before you're certain of the area. So that's what I'm doing. If, let's say, worst case scenario, something happens, or there's these people who stay near me in the other campground that's, you know, being annoying, but I don't think any issues of that. I'll update you as time goes on, but goal distraction. Hopefully I don't get harassed by too many flies. Oh, I met a gentleman from the University of North Carolina. He's actually coming up from, or he's coming down from Northwest Territories, Yukon, and is it Yukon? I don't remember, but anyways, I just met him here. He is going to meet a bunch of his students. They're looking at the migration patterns of a specific bird, or certain birds in this latitude. Interesting, not my expertise at all. I love birds, but I don't love them that much. So it was interesting to kind of chit chat with him. So he's actually on a van just far away up past the tree lines a bit. So we have our own space. But you know, the point of this is to get away from people, but you know, if anything, you're here with like-minded people, and that's really the important thing, is to always have that ability to be with people who are, you know, the same sort of mindset, you know, I hope. And Most importantly is not deal with crazy people. I think that's really my main priority, is not having to deal with crazy people in the middle of the night. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm just really glad I got the rooftop tent, and I may have some visitors today or tomorrow in the campground, but we'll see. They've walked somewhere else now, the cows. I don't see them in the ridgeline anymore. They seem to have buggered off, which is fine. They actually had babies as well, so they're there eating the grass. Tons of cows around here. I've passed so many groups, herds of cows. Anyways, let's at least try to look for some more gold, and hopefully these bugs don't piss me off too much, or I'm going to have to go away, because it's hard when there's flies flying all over your face. So I'll just put up a net. We'll see. Part of me always wondering if there's going to be a 4x4 coming out over this trail there. There. It is there. Let's try to get so I have some evidence and not lose it this time. Guys, can you just leave me alone for a minute? I am an idiot. Open the lid first. Oh, making a mess here. Where'd it go? Oh God. Can't take me anywhere, even myself. There it is. I think I got it. And these big gold that I'm getting here that I can barely see it. And either it's in the bottle or I'm just... Yeah, I guess it's there. Littlest piece of life. But it's proof. So I am, oops, that's all I need to break that, eh? I am somewhat confident that I've got gold, and I'm happy with that for now. I'm going to take a break because it's... Oh, you only pan 3 times, darling. Like, come on. Yeah, well, I'm not here to necessarily find gold, but at the very least, I want to try it and see what happens. So I say a pretty good third try. I got something, not anything to really write home to, but That's falling apart. Lovely. But I give it a shot. I don't know. I'm kind of still debating if I want to keep moving on. I just feel like I could travel more. It's still midday, but I don't know. I guess you're never happy with what you find, so I suppose that's life. The decisions you make in life, you never know if it's the right one or it's the wrong one. Sometimes you got to make decisions in life and roll with the punches, because you never know. You never know. It's hard to say between what's good and what's not good for you, what's better, what could be better, what should have been better. You know, we live our lives in what ifs. You know, I've met many people across various age groups that are what if people. What if this didn't go my way? What if I met someone different? What if I didn't meet this person? What if I didn't do this, or went to school, or didn't go to school, had this job, didn't have this job? There are so many variables in life that, you know, it's really difficult to make a choice, difficult to make a opinion, difficult choice to make the right one. Because no matter what, no matter where, there's always going to be repercussions, good or bad. If that makes sense. We need to explore possibilities. We need to be able to explore within, and that's the theme of this episode, is being able to face the fear of your decisions, not worrying about, is this decision necessarily going to be the right one, or is this decision necessarily going to be the bad one? Because we never know. We never do. But this is why it's always important to do what your gut feels, what it feels right for you, what it feels right for you to do, and do it without worrying about regret. Face fear head on. Face fear always, every day, because you may not get that chance again. We always think about right and wrong, good and bad, evil and good, but really, we have one life, or we may have multiple. That depends on your belief, but irrelevant. What matters is that you make the decisions, you make the choices in your life that suits you, that make you feel that you're able to live your life even with the decisions you make. And if you made a bad choice or bad choices in your life, that's okay. That's how it is to be human. We can't expect to move along life and not make bad decisions or make bad calls. You know, there are gonna be lots of people there telling you, well, you should have done this differently, you should have done that differently. Sure, absolutely, not wrong, but to what extent? To what opportunities are you missing if you don't make those mistakes? What are those opportunities inside of you that you're snuffing out by not allowing yourself to be the best of yourself as you can be? Faults and all, fears and all. We need to stop worrying about our actions. As long as your intentions are pure, your intentions are good and you're a good person. And things may not work out the way you want to all the time. Absolutely not. I would be lying to all of you right now if I said, yep, any decision you make, if it's from good intentions, the end results are always going to be positive. No. That's not how life works. There's always something you could do wrong, and accept it. We're not perfect. If anyone implies that you're perfect or thinks that they're perfect, they're full of, you know what? Because we always try to think, see, feel our decisions. Sometimes you overthink it, sometimes you underthink it. What's the balance? No such thing. Best thing to do is just do what feels right at that time, and if you do something and you regret it, oh well. The point here is not to hurt people intentionally, not to hurt yourself, most importantly, intentionally. And we tend to forget that, is we need to treat ourselves like we would treat a friend or a family member or someone we care deeply about. I'm guilty of that. I'm sure some of you are as well. That's okay. That's okay. As long as you acknowledge you're not being nice to yourself and understand the steps that need to be taken in order to overcome those things and those challenges within yourself, perfect. As I keep saying, it's not all sunshine and rainbows, but sometimes you got to wait out the storm to see beauty, to appreciate beauty. And just like the weather today, there's going to be storms, there's going to be rain, but dance in it, move with it, mold yourself with it, because the pain you face today is the pain you're not going to face forever. The trials and tribulations you face today are not the same trials and tribulations you're going to face tomorrow. Life is not static. Life is not stagnant. It's always evolving, always changing. It's like water. It's always moving. It's always flowing. So when it comes to your fears, when it comes to your faults, when it comes to things that make you scared, that make you afraid, understand that as long as you do your best, as long as you do the right choices, don't hurt people, but don't hurt yourself. Most important. But until then, we all have to learn. We all have to fall. We were never born and started to walk. We had to crawl, stumble around, walk, still fall. Doesn't matter. The most important thing is that you treat yourself and others that you care about with love and respect. And that sometimes means facing your own fears. The fear of being rejected, the fear of being unwanted, the fear of failure, the fear of the unknown, the fear of possibilities, the fear of intention. The list can go on and on and on. But it's always the things that make you happy, the things that make you joyful. Look at me. First time doing this. Yes, I have the equipment. Did I have the heart? Did I have the soul to do this? Some of you have done this and they, oh, what are you complaining about? What are you going on? This is easy. But that's not always the truth. That's not always the case, because we do things that make us scared. We do things that make us afraid all the time. And we could succumb to the emotions. We could let ourselves be taken away by the emotions or the fear, or embrace it. See, I'm debating if I should move to a new campsite. I've been looking for campsites for an hour and a half straight up in this Livingstone area. And I said to myself, you know what? I'm just gonna pick a spot. And I did. I'm happy of it. A little rocky, most part, but that's fine. A-okay. Just heard some reports by those ranchers that there was a cow that got hit in the road. I didn't see anything, but interesting. Never had anyone ask me if I saw an injured cow before. but apparently there could be some good fishing here. It's just too bad I didn't bring my line today. Could have given that a shot. I tried my hand on prospecting. Sort of success, but fishing, I don't know. We'll see. Okay, well, here's my update. It's, you know, I had a pretty interesting day so far. As you can tell. Now it's getting closer to evening, and I had to make a decision. And not that there was anything wrong with this spot or there was any issues. I just had a interesting feeling. It wasn't dread or fear. It was just something in my stomach told me, okay, it's time to go. And I'm kind of glad I didn't unpack the tent, put everything out. It was very, very light. I had my lunch, which was a snack, and there could be some thunderstorms rolling through, but I was prepared for that. I just decided to say, okay, it's time to go. And yeah, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna head back. If I can find another campground, great. It's just I'm not really feeling this one. I don't know, comment on the video if you ever done this and you've ever been to a place where in the wild where you're like, okay, this is not for me, and decided to go. Let me know your thoughts about that. Nothing bad happened. There was no issues. The weather's great, yeah, the bugs are a little annoying, but all in all it was fine. So yeah, so let's head back. I didn't make it as far as I thought I would today. But the mountains don't measure a journey by distance. Sometimes, just showing up is enough. Thanks for coming along. This is all part of the journey. I'll see you on the next adventure.